abegu omo ho animase ewo World Cup yase ebi mu nso abe exhibit quality performances anopa. As a matter of fact, I do not get time to say one or two about Curaçao ene omo djuma omo abeye ewo tournament na se and really say yeah team bi abo omo so a yes oman qualify but when you look at a juma omo ye baby omo free any how good they become so a small country nobody gave them a chance to say one ombetimi qualify crab tournament na so man that they came the group na omudam look at oppositions omo ebehia gave a very good account how they go against almighty German national team before drawing to Ecuador. Ecuador now also so many games are on lose game. No? They were able to pick a point against them. And so Andra back from the competition. No? Yes, almost saying Emma a resounding performances against La Côte d'Ivoire before saying Kofi. So for me, the advocate and Nkwadano Kofi as proud losers of the competition say Omoba first time knocking Anya Krembono. They are going back home with a point. And then proud moment say they were able to score a goal against the German national. As a matter of fact, Germany and share almost 7 and on better back home. Germany share back home before eventually they got the other goals now. A back count. At the point in time in the game, they were able to rub shoulders with the German national team for certain minutes before say Omo a lose battle no Ediama the dimension. And I think that Omo Yadia else say a ball mabaso. Yeah, caught into subsequent World Cups, and the next one he did in 2030. Whether they qualify or they do not qualify, we will be able to use them as reference pointer. Yeah, do everything come. Although in China for Côte d'Ivoire, for the first time in the history of La Côte d'Ivoire, said yeah, but World Cup, Côte d'Ivoire, I call World Cup. No way to qualify from the group stage. Yeah, then and draw. Winning their game against Curaçao. Emas fight and then Nkwadano and make sure saying. For the first time in history, players are Ivory Coast or La Côte d'Ivoire, better still, are producing great talent. Young Eddie Côte d'Ivoire for young Kai Kran, old Naro Eddie Bayachiya, say Kai the to raise the Didier Drobbers, the Kolo to mention the big boys at the Solomon Kalous, big players are the Ivorian national team are producing. Near catcher was a World Cup. Since Côte d'Ivoire Everton World Cup Ivory Coast they've not been able to make it past the group stages into the knockout phase. Clearly tells you say African countries they count them Black Stars of Ghana anytime you pride are the star of Africa because and World Cup qualification we'll be able to put a performance at least overboard accounts and then me share game no then watching Solomon being an analyst on television saying say Adiana Frank see and then the likes of Nicolas Pepe the leading striker and also the most experienced striker among the attackers are Omuwa when they needed him the most no Kwamanda Obaijuma 2 goals and Odibu at Kama Edema the Ivorian national team for them I think that Omunswaya they'll say African teams need be typical example, Tunisia. So, Unya Ivory Coast are only to qualify from group stage. Now, for the first time, Unya qualification, Eddie Aquarium. I think that Omonsu deserve more flowers. Say somebody might say, Omu group, Omu say Curaçao, and they come back. A group are Germany, a group are Ecuador. And don't forget that Omu say Ecuador. In the last 22 games at Ecuador, but they've lost only a single game. And Ivory Coast and a shell. Omone Germany, Etigina Koto to 2. You want to take your chances. Last minute chance Simon Adingra Echo saying then later on Dennis Undorf take the other opportunity results no echo the other way run against the Elephant of La Côte d'Ivoire. So for them they've also done well. I will say yeah boy Baba. So we talk about other Gule and the Turkey national team in the morning. So I'll not waste much time on Omejuma on
Basa Ivorian boy Jean Diomande.
I don't know. Ebia said they may share a ball different from said you will be a ball now. To be very honest, the hype around him for me, he doesn't deserve it.
But now, ongoing Walker, he's the player. What me create more than 10 chances, more than 10
dribbles.
Dribbles.
That, like I said, the hype around him maybe a he hasn't convinced me. The ball no obon any productive in family. And for obvious reason, I'm not giving him much attention. They said he will be a day man no. Until he does something, I mean, say no. I feel they were convincing me to that level. Mate and commander a 120, 110. He doesn't deserve that for me. I'm not saying it's
Liverpool. He can't the 100 call. Rejected.
I don't know what they've seen.
116.
I don't know what they've seen. These are top level football clubs, and they put so many research into whatever they want to do. If they think that he merits that amount, that is to them. But me also my scout, and if I'll not put that money on table, say me they got your money. I'll look for better options. He hasn't convinced me. Like I said, your games need way and him. Also, I hear more. I can't be a wire, and then I can phantom him into my discussion. Aside that, I think that the Ivorians now are there. One door say they bought almost about
local coach.
Yes, but me moving free or more na Mindy and then come share time and none at the matches me bring teams keeps qualifying. Teams keeps qualifying, ebi so keeps on going home. And then ebi move free. Then ebi be coffee, ebi nso be call my name. So far, what my who teams are on my bookie on my ticket, call my name. Almost standard chances of qualifying, and then Ruta will be a numbers of Ghana, for instance, as it stands now. You name baby reason being that our match I ever or Chinano, there were a lot of consequences depending on where we finish. So you win here, your route SSA, you lose your route SSA, and you about draw your route SSA. Even win the crown, you bet me winning, not still. That's why I second position route, depending on England and Panama. Almost score line. Any bit may win accord that first. So dynamics the doors. We will have to wait until we get to that bridge and then get me across so smoothly. But let's talk about and the games are when you look at matches now where we're having two crucial matches and 7 p.m. before say Ahmachene matches no so at also. Now Norway will game against the French national team. I'll talk about that later. Senegal ball against Iraq. Now so we group I know. Now we league table ni dia. France leading with 6+5. Norway with 6+4. Senegal tosomiensa. Omo point bia. Omo 0-3. And then Iraq equal to 0 and also -6. So what it means is that top 2 no air ball and the last 2 no air ball. As it stands now, so table na oko teams now likely say already a third best position never qualify now. Now Senegal for at the side table the 12 they have 0-3. Ideally the point go back as at the intina reason being that negative na ekuto negative 3 goals. There were other teams negative na intina Senegal can qualify depending on results against Iraq. If they are able to beat Iraq more goals, say 3 or 4, now the negative na eba forma. Ubenya 3 points, negative neighbor. Now look at the table. I don't know how to the amount. Sweden, 4 points. Ecuador 4. Bosnia, 4. Paraguay, 4. Then Ubenya Croatia, 3. South Korea, 3. Algeria, 3. Scotland, also 3. Cabo Verde, 2. Belgium, 2. Then DR Congo, 1. Almost Senegal, 0-3 goals. Now, with 3 points, there are some of the teams are more 3 points are more games away. Example Scotland. Scotland being placed on 8th. Yeah, 8 teams and more mark. Scotland 3 points minus of 3 goals. Senegal 0-3. If they win, say 2 or even 1, Ubenya 3 points, ni minus na ba -2. Obesa Scotland no
It's a Scotland bon person Iraq.
Ebi enya draw. And I say Senegal ebe winning part. And so say the goals ebe. So the dynamics keeps changing. So we have to wait until yababo matches no be every then we able to clear cut baby ubia efa. When you pick that game, the 2 teams no be able to the game. And as a matter of fact, Senegal had disappointed a lot of people who had believed in them prior to the tournament. Not all African team and now man for Bo Moody said, yeah, teams from Africa among the 10 teams they go Omokwa Koti anymore. Oba Morocco first, and the next man about was Senegal. Ghana, ne Egypt, ne DR Congo, Cabo Verde, Munye teams are not overboard, not because yet good team, but because Senegal on the continent, they see you can say Afcon cross over Nigeria. until CAF and CAF and omo decision beba amaye who say we and akwa Senegal on the 4th of play won the trophy into African champions tournament now say no untime right of but 2 games or more, but they started very well first half against the French national team. Came back in the second half, everything became messy. Coach, actually, said on that technical when he said when they go and get 12, ball against great A managers, eventually he lost that game to the French national team. Obeshia Norway, near full so bet him Norway, lost that one too, and then they have a point to prove against Iraq. Iraq is out of the discussion, and there are teams are no here points so dearly to keep themselves in the competition. Man, will be for the points. And I see that happening to the Senegalese national team. And they will win. They will win and have to wait for Ochina matches now. And I bet you they say, so I won't waste so much time on that game. I'm going for a Senegal win and over 1.5 in that game. The Senegal, the game will produce at least 2 goals for Omaya, a friend says Senegal. I see them winning. As a matter of fact, if I'm to stick for a prediction for the Senegalese national team, I'll go for a 2-0 win for Omaya, your friend says Senegal, and you bring, they will have that score line over Omaya. Your friend say Iraq. Now to the big game, you bet na TV not trying to miss a single minute. Match, between 2 teams are in the group. A match there say Ubia and Ubia, and I say Ubia attacking machinery. Sharp. We 6 points plus or 5. We were 6 points plus or 4. Norway has 7 goals and one conceded 3. France has 6 and one conceded 1. So it means that when it comes to scoring, Norway for us more goals. I say the France but defensively and a Norway on a leaky kakra. Adia France and then you bring say they are going into the game without their head coach. Didier Deschamps and a bench and farmer the French national team. Reason being that time come on what we do hard to say was mommy. And the French national team ISQ now what free US I go back to France. Eko say obetumi sie aja ne maame achi kwan anso obeba waba beto aso in the absence of Didier Deschamps na assistant game Steven takes charge. We've seen games our coaches be anywhere assistant STP ina omutim kobo omhomode and yahu games our coaches be no assistant STP ina omuntime nya ade ye hwe ba amonchin any club your friend say PSG in the first leg in the absence of Vincent Kompany na assistant next step in Eko year Juma Kama Ewo France. There are other games to assistant coaches comes in and they are not able to perform. So when you better how we reference against 7 in the absence of the boss Didier Deschamps who will be able to deal with pressure. We reference the style so can any Norway national team no ever presented. I listened to the 2 sides no. Managers then come over clearly Norway for no ending half udi first over and Kofua obesiam. And omunim udi second omo obesiam so place first you'll be meeting teams no udi 3rd position ebam and a hona hoden will form into your chances of advancing into the next stage in ewo so and udi second obesia big boys into the 2 teams all of them want to avoid Sardian as it stands now your both game ni we na end in a draw no way for the more goals or match ever top table. Say win ever the more will be a while be win biano on our topic group. Into the 2 sides have everything to make sure they put their arsenals together and try to get the results. And then obi e kwa where and conform. Commander, why am I saying so be a kwa and conform? Tournament Kylian Mbappe when it comes to World Cup will defy every moment to be a World Cup. We say he is a player he did World Cup in Koma. Who bet my trust and say obey Edman Eddie amount. In this World Cup 2 matches and wabo was said 2 goals. Haaland won the first World Cup. Commander 2 matches, almost why in the 4 goals. So what it means is that Omoyen 2-2. First game wasting 2. Second game wasting 2. Opponent Omoyen in our boy will be able to 2-2-2. And Omoyen say, oh, they sad data. I provided a certain data for production. Most career goals for club and country for players age under 30. Players are almost age below 30 years. And Omugusu Siakan. For club and country, rather, Kylian Mbappe 429 goals. Haaland 356 goals. So it tells you that open quadan, you cannot mention without these 2 players in discussion and lead the conversation. Now, when it comes to Champions League, Macau World Cup goes out. We have said Mbappe lead because we bought more World Cup games. Yeah. This time around, Haaland by 2 to Oneno. Esia ewa fu so obia eya ade no Obi has a 4 so it means that games or mabo at World Cup a year peno goal ratio a year now most goals in Champions League history. Uwe mudinya kesefo no wani Ronaldo ni Messi, Lewandowski, Benzema and Raul lead. Kylian Mbappe 27 games in Champions League, 70 goals. Erling Haaland 25 and also I'm saying 57. Sorry, 27 at age and then 25 for Erling Haaland. We were 70, we were 57. So what it means is that every angle baby over Kobiano we no kid on interne and you may more na ye kwakwen say yempo and your mama any be decided results we'll see Kylian Mbappe trying to overshadow Erling Haaland in the discussion. We'll see Erling Haaland who also want to try and overshadow who reference Kylian Mbappe in the discussion. I listen to Haaland I can say Mbappe on pese obeka bebre dia fa ba onim say France for team essay obunto on beso a mind game. No, he's never been afraid of any opponent. Respect. No matter about France for one, say France for was so.
Dayo Pemikano say, "So bet me I'm marking Haaland marking ya." This say when him you adwuma. When he back hwe Haaland.
Who lose concentration?
Na back so hwe the pass no. Man.
Yeah, who lose concentration 1 second obesho. Now when you pick data any stars are the two teams almost share 16 times.
Okay.
16 times no much and 7. According to the French national team. 4 are ending in a draw and a 5 according to Norway. So it means that France are more than a bro Norway so crazy. But don't forget, say Norway in their qualifying matches to the World Cup, 14 games or more boy and man lose a single game. It tells you that and even recently, last 14 games are including the World Cup qualifying games the only game lose you prior to this World Cup friendly boy against Netherlands. On that side that they make sure so every game be same thing applies to the French national team. No, my in 12 prior to the World Cup, no lose until the last match. Ivory Coast, Ecuador, all of them, and I say the two of them will be a performance or the area game. So I think that I will little details and a commander. What? Ubenya team the concentration level throughout the game. Ube minimize it margin of errors. Una win the game. Ubi any threat. Now, so when the probable lineups now, me them on the Alpha Norway, for instance, share or more probable. Now give me Norway. In the typical 4-3-3 system, Ojan Neyland improved for them. Ubenya Marcus Peterson or the right backs. Then when you top Jin Hakim. The left back, and then the 4 and 5, branch for the Christopher Arge, and then David Mola-Wolfe. Solid center pay. Tournament, games, I assure more Mabuni, but now, you know, Ubenya center bench, and then Frederick Orsens, and the orchestra, their captain, Martin Odegaard, and him or will be a team here. Don't underrate Antonio Musa. He is the least known name, but the press are on the mouth. Any energy or game, you cannot underrate him. Alexander Solot who competition is so much because the goals no aim flow, but Omar bite. It was uncle for me early the attack with Erling Haaland. Can win him said a strong attacking machinery and no way for no apparently at their supporters will come with their beautiful Viking celebrations to see say I'm team no Ebenya goals at the French national team. Maybe Osman Dembele and a multiple reporter Evan said, coach, we want to rotate and then give him a chance to be on the bench now on refreshing home. Then Ibenya Due, Olise, Mbappe, Thuram Ali attacking. All more Macan air positions are in maintain. But if he wants to go with the same system that Marcus Thuram will still go on the bench now. Osman Dembele, Abelidi, na attack, neither Mbappe, Nebelidi, and also they will do the rotation at the end at any time. We are in home also. Obi him a threat. Defensively, and Abeka said, it drew baby a bit shaky kakra. I want to see how Adra Rabiot and on the real Chomeni, a bit in our daily weight, and 3 of Frederick Orsens, Martin Odegaard, and a set up bet. I will feel for the Norwegian national team. If France if one are able to keep tabs on them, now or more stop or more from Sa or more rounds, any passes now Ekona. Bon, yeah, cross need a free baby about Erling Haaland or Tono on Genehum.
Okay.
He scores from every aspect of play now. You don't underrate him. It's going to be a very difficult game.
Okay.
Commander, over 3.5 in that game, in my books. Goals never does. That's how I see it.
Goals in the
Yes,
Dawson.
Obianim a potent.
Okay.
Obianim a potent. And I don't see them playing a defensive game. They defensive. They will play their normal game. Damn the consequences. Yeah,
because already qualify.
Yes, Obianim qualify, but they want who finishes the top spot. No, France will want to extend the lead, and they say we're saying it 8 times. No, we want to make sure. Say, on also we back one. Say when you're 6 minutes now, we're close to gap now. It's going to be an interesting fixture, and you may any ever. But the game for me is not ending in a draw.
Any draw.
I don't see it ending in a draw.
Okay.
Honestly, I see goals. Say goals. Ebeba game no.
Okay.
But me who say ending in a draw. I don't know how many goals are Mbappe beating us in it. And I mean how many goals are Haaland beating us. So many be any goals. I will not be surprised. But to say we be say 2, we be say 1. That I don't know. But I mean, take it out for a prediction, a correct score prediction in the game. I am going for Norway 2, France 3. I think that France, in my books, a slight ahead of Norwegian for no. So I'm going for a 3-2 win for the Alele Blues of France. That's my prediction. And you may say much now, Everson again.
But I say the special one, Habib Mohammed, and our tenant Kano.